And take this one for example. I'm just picking a random text and I will click save. Now, if this event is repeated, you can just repeat this event on a specific weekly or daily and select the days and other related items for that. Once you click on save, you will notice there is a dot that has been added, which means on 28th, there is an event that is an upcoming event, as you can see. So again, the calendar allows you to view all the calendars and events in one place. Either these events or calendars are coming from the courses you are teaching in, or even your personal calendar, or even the system calendar or institution calendar that has been released by your system administrator. Your personal calendar event is only viewable and modifiable from the global calendar. So if you need to edit or see your personal events, you need to come to this global calendar. And again, since it's personal, you are the only one who can see it. And this is the only also place where you can see the institution event or the institution calendar, as you can see. Now there is another value, like some of you might say, can I just view, like for example, only this course calendar? So once you do that, the system will display only this calendar. As you can see, in 28th of October, there is no event because this is the event that we have just created for a different course. But in 27, we have a course, we have an office hours for all the courses. So from here, you can control which calendar you can see. You can select all. Another important thing, many persons or many people, they would like to see their calendar from one place. Like, for example, some people, they would say, I need to see all my events on the Blackboard calendar. So what they can do, they can add calendar to the Blackboard link. And to do that, the system will just ask you to upload the ICS file that's supported. That's it. This is where you can export the calendar from your, for example, Google Calendar or Outlook calendar and just add it here. And another thing is that I'd like, or I prefer to see my calendar from my Outlook. So I can just say, share this calendar. So I will copy this link and add it to my Outlook, which means now all the events that has been created on the Blackboard and calendar will be reflected automatically on my Outlook. So again, this setting that's here is really if you like to add calendar to the Blackboard link calendar, or if you like to share your Blackboard link calendar with other calendar systems like iCalendar or even the Outlook or Google Calendar or Yahoo Calendar or whatever solution you are using. Enough talking about calendar, and let's move to messages. Messages also is another communication tool for Ultra Experience where you can access messages feature from the baseline. This means that the students with different courses, they can send the messages to you, and also you can send the new messages for your students. So I can just click on the plus sign for this course and I can identify who should receive this message. So I can send it to other users on the system, and I can CC or BCC this message, write the subject of the message, the text of the message, random text here, and just click on submit. Once I do that, it will be sent, as you can see, in sent folder. This is also a good communication tool. If your student, for example, they don't have a valid email address, or they prefer to use the messages that's coming from Blackboard then rather than email inbox. And so again, from here, you can create messages for anyone within your courses. Grades. Grade also considered to be a communication tool. Someone might say, but I'm a teacher, I don't have any grades. That's correct. But for you as an instructor, you can see the different courses, grade distribution. You can get some statistics like we have 11 out of 12 that has been submitted. there is an 11 submission need to be graded. So there is 11 students has been submitted their work. Only one student did not submit his work. And those 11 submission need to be graded by you. There is also like the average of the student grade, and you can view the details of all the course activities. Like for example, Unit 1 or Unit 2 quizzes, you can see all the student submission has been graded, and there is, for example, nothing to be graded, and so on. So you will have an overview about your student performance on the different activities, give some statistics about the student submission, what needs to be graded, and the average of the student in that course. Of course, once you click on the course, the system will take you to the Blackboard grade book, as we discussed, we will talk about it at the end of today's webinar. Now also the institution or the Blackboard admin, he might decide to make some tools available for you, like the enterprise survey, the rubric, and other tools, the content system, etc. These really the Blackboard tools that's available in the system, and it will be made available by the system administrator. The sign out is used to look out from the system. That's enough. Let's talk now. We have experienced the ultra-based navigation. We have seen the site notification menu items. Let's go now and access one of our courses. Now, I have two different courses, or two courses, real courses that has been developed by an instructors. And those are considered to be winners of what we call it, the Blackboard course design program exemplary course design Catalyst Award. So let me show you one of these courses. Once you access or click on the course title, we said the system will take you to the course page. Of course, you can close this icon to go back to the site notification. Now, once you landed on the course, this is what we call it, the course landing page or the course home page. From here, you can see the course menu. This is the main structure of the course. This is where the student will start to click on those different menu items to access, for example, the announcements of the course, to access their grades. An instructor, so I don't have any grades. To access the contents, to see the assessment activities, the assignments, or even the discussions that has been created on this course, and also any tools that has been made available for the students. And in the right side, this is where the system will display the menu item content. Like if you click on the announcements, you will see the announcements that has been released by the instructor for his student in this course. And since you are an instructor, you will be able to see what we call it, the course management. This is only a special menu item or a course management menu that is available for you as instructor. Students cannot see it. The idea behind having an access to the course management is to be able to manage your course, because sometimes you need, for example, to use specific tools, or you need to generate some reports about your student performance, or to manage your student grades and activities, or to do any customization on the course properties and settings. So from here, you can access the course management tools that has been made available for you. Also at the top of the page, you will notice that we have a set of icons. Remember, you are an instructor, which means that you have an edit privilege on the course. Like you can change the edit mode like on or off. Okay, now if you click edit mode is off, you will notice that some icons that will appear here will disappear. Like for example, let me go to units. You'll see this is how the units is being created. Now if I change the edit mode to on, the system will display the editing tool, like these menu items or these small icons that allows you to do an edit for those different items. And we have what we call it the student preview. We will talk about it in the next part. Student preview allows you to experience this course as a student. Now I'm entering the student preview. Now I'm accessing the course as a real student. So this is how the real student will be able or will see my course. But it has also other benefits, as we will see in the next topic. Now the question is that we need to ask ourselves, and this is the course menu. So let me go to this default or standard course. By default, the system will create a course with a default menu. Usually it will look like this. Let me just delete this item. So this is like what we call it the default menu. The default menu is defining the default course structure or the course organization. Remember, the entry point for the student is these menu items, which means that if you need to access the course information, you need to go to information. If you need to access the content, you need to go to the content. If you need to access the discussions, you will go to the discussion board link. So as you can see, this is the entry point for the student. This is how you are defining the organization of your course. That's why there is 3 different ways where you can organize your course. So let me share this slide with you very quickly and to show you what I mean by organizing your course. So just bear with me a second until I share that slide with you, gentlemen and ladies. And is that slide? Here it is. So the course menu can be organized, or the course can be organized chronologically or by a subject area or even by type of content. Chronologically means that you are organizing the course based on different periods or milestones or specific times within the course, like weekly basis, okay? In each week, for example, this menu item will contain the contents, the assessment, the engagement and collaboration tools that is related to that specific week. And in each week, the student will find the content, activities, and assessment, and so on, okay? By subject means that you are organizing your course based on the different subjects that you are offering for your students. Like in this course, the main subjects are solar, wind, and biofuels. So if you go to the solar, for example, you will see all the contents, activities that is related to that subject. The last type is based on type of content. Like here we can say the lectures. Student from here we can find the readings materials. From this menu item he can access assignments and so on. Now what is the best practice, or how should I do or organize my course? Now this is really up to you. There is nothing called best practice. It is really based on the subject that you are teaching, based on your teaching philosophy, and based on how you want to offer and organize your course. You can use one of either of those 3 options, or even you can do a mix for that one. Now, this is the first part in terms of organizing the course. But one of the best practices that to help you to plan for the course menu is to think, what do you need to provide, okay, and how to create or how to provide this one on the Blackboard link. Like for example, if I need to provide a lecture notes or other reading materials to my students, then I need to create what we call it a content area. Content area, it's a special area which allows you to add different contents and materials. If I need, for example, to provide a link to a regularly used website, then I need to create a web link. If I need to give my student a one-click access to regular use tools like My Grades or calendar or discussion board, then you need to use a tool link. So think about how you will organize the content of the course, okay? And then think what you need to provide. Just make it this simple table. Once you decide, you can start now adding the menu item. Now, how to change the organization of the course is using this small icon, the plus icon that appears at the top of the course menu. And once you extend this plus, you will have a different type of menu items like a content area. So if I need to attach files or upload the files for my student, then I need to create a content area. If I need, for example, to add a link to a Blackboard link tool like My Grades or announcement, then use tool links. If I need to add a web link for external website, use the web link, and so on. So let me show you how to do that on the Blackboard link. And here, I'm assuming that I'm going to organize my content based on chapters. This is how I'm planning to organize my content. So just give me some feedback. If you can see my screen, just give me some feedback that you can see my browser screen. Yes, thank you very much. That's great. I'm happy that you are active with me, although we have a limited communication privilege on the Blackboard Collaborate for our today's webinar. So as I said, first I need to make sure that edit mode is on. And then I will go to the plus sign and create a content area. Why I need to create a content area? Because I need to find a place where I can upload all the chapter 1 resources and materials. And chapter 1 is really contains like a lecture notes, there is videos, there is web links, there is an assignment. So I just need to make sure that I have the ability to add those different components to chapter 1. That's why I selected a content area. Let me go and repeat this step for chapter 2. And I will make this one also available for my users. Now I can change the order of the items like this. Click and drag. When you move your hover over in the most left part of the menu item, see how it's changed. Now in the information, for example, I can rename this link because it is a predefined content area, as you can see. And how did I know that it is a predefined content area? Because it allows me to build content, create assessment, or add tools. So what I will do in this one, I will just rename it and say start here. Why I have selected this item or this title? Because this is an online environment. I'm trying to provide some guidance to my students on how to create, how to navigate through the course. So in the start here, I will add the details of this information about this course, objectives, the different activities, the grading policy, and other details. And also I need to create here now a tool link. Why is that? Because I need to provide a direct link for my students to the announcement tool. So in this case, I need to select the tool link. So here, this is the announcement tool, and I will call it, for example, course updates, and make it available for my student. Now I will move this here at the top. On page, for example, it contains a set of modules that will notify the student. You know, I don't want to have it, so I will delete it. Remember, deleting any menu item will delete everything inside it, and this is irreversible. So please make sure that you don't delete any menu item unless you are 100% sure. The best practice says just hide the link from the student. This is what the best practice said. Why is that? Because in the future, if you decided or if you find that there is some information that is important for your student, you can just come very easily and say show link, okay? But delete, this is irreversible, and this is a final process. Now also I can add some visual elements just to organize things. So for example, I will put divider here. And also I will add another divider here, for example. So this is more appealing menu item or organizing my course for my students. Okay. Are we good until now? Let's go and start now uploading the content. So our next topic is about creating course content. So we will identify the different content type that's available for building a content in the Blackboard lab, examine ways to attach files to the course, list the best practice of presenting dynamic content, and summarize key tools for editing textual-based content. So in the announcement, for example, what I need to do just to create an announcement, just write the subject of the announcement like a welcome message for my student, and just link the text that might already you have it on the Microsoft Word document or another document, copy and paste it right away, and just click on submit. Now this is how I'm releasing a new announcement for my student. Now let me go to the start here. In the start here, I need to provide the general course information like an introduction about this course or about this course. So I will go to the build content and select an item. The reason I have selected item because it allows me to add an embedded text to the course, which means it will be displayed right away on the start here page. So I will go and select an item, specify. Here in the name, I will say about this course. And here, I will just copy and paste the text that I already have about this course. Remember that you don't have to author everything from scratch. If you already have it on in an electronic format, you can just copy and paste it. There is other options. Let's ignore it for the time being. So this is about this course. The second item that I'd like to add is the course objectives. So I will say here course objectives. And what I need to do is just to maybe copy and paste. And here I can utilize or use the text editor to help me to do a formatting for these texts. So if the text is already formatted on Microsoft Word, I can just copy and paste it with its format. If it's not, then I can use the text editor. So you can change a lot of the font properties, the paragraph properties, insert tables, hyperlink, insert some emojis, symbols, and other content. So what I will do, I will just create here a list. So these are the objectives that we are going to achieve in this course, for example. And once you click on submit, you'll see we have the about this course and we have the course objectives. And you can change the order of the items using click and drag of this purple ribbon that appears on the left side of the item. Now I need to upload also a file for my student, okay? And that contains the course syllabus, the full syllabus, which is maybe a PDF format. So what I can do very easily, just build the content file, select here the title of the link that will appear for the student. So I'll say course syllabus. And here I will browse my computer to select this file from my own computer because I maybe have this one or this file in my computer. And once you finish, you just click on submit. And here I have the link for the course syllabus. Once the student click on the link, it will open right away for him. So the student, he can see the file that has been uploaded right away. Another way, which is I'd like to use it to upload file, using an item. So item also, or using an item, I can use it to upload a file. I will click on item, I will say course syllabus. I can here add some description for my student about this item or this file. And it's really, as I said, information about the course content is more important than the course content itself. So I have provided here some description about this file, telling my student this course syllabus will provide you the required information that you need to be successful. This include, for example, our grading policy, the different activities, the weight distribution, late submission policy, descriptions, course objectives, the detail of the subjects and topics that we will cover in this course with a brief description and so on. So I'm just telling my student what they will find in this course syllabus. Then they can just click and browse my computer, select the file, And as you can see here, we change the title. Click here to download syllabus. Submit. Now, as you can see, I have uploaded course syllabus using the file and using the course item. As you can see, this one is more convenient than this one because this one allows me to provide some description about this file before the student even download it. So they know what kind of information they can find in this file before download it. And now they can just click here and the system will open the file for them. So you have different ways where you can upload the content. Of course, you can add audios, images, videos, and web links. Okay. Let me go now to the, for example, chapter 1 here, and I will create, for example, an introduction about this chapter. So this is an introduction for chapter 1. So what I have done in this one is that there is a set of text, or there is an introduction text, but also I need to add and insert an image. So I can use these icons to insert or edit images to the course. So let me just use this one to insert an image. I will browse my computer to get the image. I know you might not be able to see my screen, that's fine, but at least it is a pop-up window. And as you can see, I have inserted the image now. I can resize it if I like. Okay. And what I can do here is, okay, submit. Now I have added an introduction with some visual and interactive visual content with my student. So this is an introduction to chapter 1. You can repeat the system. Also, building a content allows you to upload images and videos and audios from your computer. But if there is any resources that's available in the internet, like for example, there is a YouTube video that really I have developed and uploaded, I can just go to YouTube video, for example, search for that video. So let me say Blackboard in a day. Okay, let me search for that specific video. Okay. Blackboard then. And you can see there is a list of the videos that is talking about Blackboard Lane. I can select any video like this one, teaching remotely Blackboard Lane basics. Select this video, for example. Then you can provide a description, which is very important. Tell your student why they are watching this video, why they are watching this image or seeing this image. Tell them what kind of information they need to focus, what kind of answer they need to answer, what kind of questions they need to answer, any objectives that is related to this content. Then you can select how do you want to view it. I would say embedded video, and then click on submit. Now I can see the first item and the second item. The student can click on this video and they can start watching this video. Uploading videos from YouTube is really very helpful because when it comes to downloading or viewing the video by the student, it's streaming from YouTube. If you upload a video directly to the Blackboard Lane and link it, then it will take some time to download it for the student. So now, as you can see in build content, you have a different type of content that you can use. I will leave that for you to explore it. But you can use some resources that's available in the internet. If there is photos, presentation, slide share, YouTube videos, or even you can upload or create a content that is already on your computer to the students. Another important also practice that you might need to think is that, for example, in chapter 2, I have two main lessons, lesson 1 and lesson 2. and each one will have its own elements. So as you can see in chapter 1, we have added all the materials because chapter 1 is like 1 unit, okay? And we just need to provide all the chapter 1 materials for our students. Well, in chapter 2, it is a little bit different because we have 2 main topics and I need my student to focus on each lesson. Then I need to create like a subfolder. Now in build content, we can create what we call it a content folder. It's an organization. It's like you're creating a folder in your computer. So I would say this is, for example, lesson 1. And here I provide some description about my student about what kind of information they can find in the lesson 1, for example. And I will create another content folder called lesson 2, telling my student also what kind of content they can find in this lesson 2. Also, I will tell them the learning objectives that they will achieve after they completing this lesson, for example. Okay? So we have folder for lesson 1 and lesson 2. So this will help me to organize and categorize my content based on subtopics if it's needed. Now inside lesson 1, I will start to create the items. So this is lesson 1 introduction. Okay, and this is, for example, the text for it. There is, for example, a slideshare presentation that I'd like to give it for my students to view it. So let me just add this one. Add some description for my student about this lesson 1 presentation. Okay. And you can also add a web link if you like. I want my student visit Cairo University website. And this is the website, which is https www.cu.edu, I think. Let me verify if this is the correct URL just very quickly. Cairo University. I will find it. I will find it. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, edu.g. Okay. So let me just copy the link. Okay. Come on. Okay. Control C. Now I have the link. Now I can just add this one here and tell my student why they need to visit this link. Again, adding a description or telling the student why this content is there and what they need to do with it is even more important than the content itself. So now I have all the lesson 1 materials. Now if you go here to lesson 2, then you can also start uploading the contents and material for lesson 2. Lesson 2, for example, lecture notes, okay. Adding some description, attaching the lecture note file from my computer. And we have now a kind of organization and separation for the content for lesson 1 and lesson 2 inside chapter 2, as you can see. But in chapter 1, we have added all the content sequentially in one place. It depends if you need or you don't need to upload it or to use it. So again, within any item, sorry, okay, I did that very quickly, forgive me. So if I did any mistake on adding any item and I need to update it, what I can do, just go to the context menu here or the option menu or the item options for the added item, and then you can find a lot of options like you can edit, you can hide it, if you will. Sometimes I need to hide the object because it's not ready or it needs to be updated before release it to my student. You can copy it, you can move it, or even you can delete it. But if you click on edit, you will go back to the edit item page. From here, you can use this text editor again to add any information. So for example, I can add the link, if you will, here. So I can add a hyperlink here to a specific path like cu.edu.eg, for example. Insert. As you can see now, this is a link. You can insert images, you can insert YouTube, you can attach files, if you will. Sorry. You can add mashups, and the most important thing, in some cases, for example, let me go to chapter 2 here, for example, lesson 2. For the people who are using the equations, the mathematical equations, sometimes they will find it very difficult to deal with the text editor. But luckily, within this text editor, we have the math editor. Math editor allows you to enter a mathematical equation, even complex mathematical equation with a different symbol. So let me show you how that works. So let me just click on this link, and I will change my screen sharing for that mathematical editor page again. So I will stop sharing and share again, because once you click on that icon for mathematical editor, it will launch a new window. This window will ask you to enter the equations. As you can see, there is a lot of equations that you can use it. Even in Arabic, if you will, you can use it, or even in English. Because in Arabic, see how it is right to left indentation, and also you can add those different equations, as you can see. And then there is a different type of that information that you can add it in this one. And this is not the only thing. Also, as you can see, you have a different type of mathematical notation and calculus information that you can add. And as we said, this is not the only thing. You can also add symbols. These symbols, either Greek symbols like these ones that's commonly used on some languages or some disciplines, or even you can use the elements table for the chemistry, for example. So if you need to add these different components for the chemistry, for the different elements codes, you can just use it here to build your equation. Once you finish, you just click on accept, and okay, now let me go back to my main screen. Okay, I think some feedback if you can see my screen, please, if you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Yep, thank you. Now this is the equation. Of course, if you need to edit that equation, you can just edit equation from here, right click and click edit equation. It will take you again to that one. Once you click on the submit, of course, you need to add it. Once you click on submit, the system will display the mathematical notation. The good thing about this one is that you don't have to worry how the student will see it, because the system is automatically converting this one as an image. So it will be displayed to the student as an image. So if he doesn't have any specific font or language installed in his computer, that does not matter. It will be displayed as this, like this, okay? These are one of the good values. But that's good. We have created our course. We have defined the organization of the course and start uploading the content. Now, really, I need to experience this course as a student. So the first thing to do is that we can turn the edit mode to off, which is fine, but still I'm not experiencing that as a student, because yeah, this is how the student will see it, but I don't know really how the student will interact with it. Above all that, still I can see the course management. So this means like this is a partial view. So let me just make this one. The solution is to use the student preview. Student preview is very important tool, because it allows you not only to view the content, it allows you also to submit an assignment, take a test, create a blog discussion forums, and view the learner tools such as my grades. So remember, if I try to access my grades from here, where is my grades? see the user with you role don't have personal grades. Okay, I have noticed something. I need to add a quick link for my student here for my grades. So let me just fix that one. Remember, my grade is a tool, so I will create a tool link. Again, select my grades. So my grades or my progress, call it whatever you like, and then put it here. Now, I cannot see my grades as the student because I'm instructor. So the preview student allows you to experience the course not only from term of viewing the content, but also in terms of participating and engaging with the content. And that's important because if I have created an assignment, then I need to see how the student will submit his work. And then once he submits this work, I need to see or to experience how I will view his submission as an instructor. That's why I will use the student preview mode. What you need to do, just click on this icon to go to student preview mode. In reality, what the system has done, he has created a new account called user preview. And this account has been enrolled into my course as a student. That's why I can, if I click on my grades, I can see my grades page because I'm a real student within the course. But the system has taken the responsibility of creating everything for me. Before exiting the preview, you can pick the settings. And there is two settings. Either to keep the preview user and all data. Yeah, I'd like to keep it if I'm still on testing cycle, which means I need to create an assignment, allow the student to submit their work, and go back as an instructor to do the grading, and then go back and see how the student will view the feedback and the grade. So still, if I'm still in this cycle, then I'd like to keep everything. Once I finish testing everything, I can just ask the system to delete the preview user and all data. So let's keep it now and show you what will happen. Now remember, this is the setting that we have selected. Now once you exit the preview, the system will take you to your original preview. And just to give you a hint, if you go to users from the control panel, here you will say that you will see there is a preview user. So see, this is my original username, and it say hsadmin_preview user. So the student has created a new, the system has created a new account and enrolled him as a student. Now remember, if you select on the setting, delete the preview user and click save and then exit the preview, what will happen now if you go to the users, you will notice that the preview user has been deleted. So you don't have to worry about managing this account. Just make sure to select the right settings, and once you finish, you can ask the system to delete everything for you. So we will depend on this tool to switch back and forth between the student and the instructor. Okay, that's great. That's great. That's good. So we have learned how to navigate within a Blackboard lane. We have learned how to start uploading and building the content into my course. Now I need to meet with my student. I need to engage and collaborate with my students synchronously, which means like I need to see them, they need to see me, I need to use chat, and we need to talk. I need to give them an opportunity to participate in a real life discussion, a real life session, like the face-to-face. So our next topic will be about Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. We will discuss the synchronous and virtual platform features. We access the Blackboard Collaborate and navigate within it. And also we will differentiate between the different session roles and use the audio and video check to make sure that everything is running smoothly for our students. So let me, before showing that on the system, let me go to the presentation here very quickly. It's taking some time. Okay. And talk about the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. So as we said that we have been learning how to use the Blackboard Lane. And until now, as you can notice that Blackboard Lane is a synchronous virtual platform where you can accomplish tasks in your own time, okay? And when I'm saying asynchronous, which means that other party, which is the student, they don't have to be at the same time logged into the course or accessing the course when I'm accessing the course. Each one of us, he can do his work on his own time. So I will go and upload the content, and when the student is free, they can go and view that content without the need for me to be online. But there is some need, or there is a requirement to enhance the learning experience through adding or offering synchronous platform or synchronous feature. Synchronous features means like to have a real-time communication, which means like we are doing now in the webinar. So I'm talking and you are hearing me. I'm presenting things and you can see it. When I ask you to give me feedback, you gave me your feedback. And even if I enabled the mic and the video for you, you can start talk and share your audio if you will. So this is what we call it the web conference, or this is what we call it the synchronous virtual platform. It provides a real-time collaboration between the people who are in the same session. Also, it enables multiple people to to share their audio, video, or even sharing an application, sharing content, using the chat also to write a comment. And since we have a very limited number, so allow me to change some of the settings here in this session. And let me just enable the chat a little bit here for you. So you will notice that you have the capacity to see the chat now. You can see the chat and you can write the messages for me. Okay, that's good. So this is like an enhanced experience for engagement and collaboration, because there is a real-time communication between the instructor and his student. So that's why we have provided the Blackboard Collaborate solution, which allows us to have this real-time communication. And also, the real-time communication can be used for different scenarios. Like we can have a kind of live meeting between myself as an instructor and my students, like we used to do in the classroom. We can deliver webinars like we are doing now. We can have a discussion as we were doing on the original face-to-face classes. We can give lectures. We can use it to also give an office hours for my student, or even to demonstrate a specific item or activity like I'm doing now for you. So there is a lot of scenarios and use cases you can think about it, about the real-time communication. But be careful with the large number of users. If you have a very large number of users, maybe you would eliminate some of the privileges, like take away the share audio and video, the chat, or maybe the chat you want to enable it, but maybe you need someone to help you go through the messages that has been released. Now, as a Blackboard, we have provided the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra solution. So it is a web conferencing tool that is part of the Blackboard product. So you have the Blackboard Lane. This is the learning management system. This is where the courses lives and the students and instructors interact with each other, see the content, post their work, upload the materials, and so on. The Blackboard Collaborate is integrated with the Blackboard Lane, allows you or extend the learning management system to allow you to have a web conferencing, or to have a web conferencing with your student, to add the synchronous feature of communication and collaboration. So as we said, that Collaborate is accessible within the Blackboard Lane. Now remember, once you access the Blackboard Collaborate Learn, as an instructor, your role in the Collaborate session will be a moderator, which means that you have the full privilege to manage and maintain your session. The students, by default, they will have what we call it a participant role. Participant role means that they have a limited privileges to do, and you can take away or give them more privileges based on your need. So let me go to the Blackboard lane now and show you how to access the Blackboard Collaborate from within your course. I'm just sharing my screen with you. It might take a little bit of time to appear to you. Yep, okay. Can you give me some feedback if you can see my screen, please? Thank you very much. So as you can see, within the course management, you have what we call it the course tools. From here, as an instructor, you can access and manage all the tools that is available within your course. And one of the tools is called the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. Now, remember, this is how you will access it. Let's think about the student, how the student will be able to access the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. So if we switch to the student preview, you will notice there is no direct link for the student to access Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. You need to go to the tools, and from the tools, you can see the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, which is good way. But I always think about my student and try to make everything accessible for them. Again, I'm changing my course menu and create a tool link. The reason for that, I'm creating a link for an existing tool in the Blackboard link. From the type, I will select Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, and I will give it more attractive name like Virtual Meetings. And I will make this one available for my student. Put it here. And for the time being, I will hide the tools from my student. Now let's go and see how the student will be able to access the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. So in the course menu, he will see virtual meetings. Now, once he click on the virtual meetings, the system will take him to the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. And from here, he can start now accessing the different sessions or virtual rooms that has been created. By default, there is a course room. So by default, the system create a room for you called course room. This is available for anyone within the course. Remember, for anyone within the course. So if I'm a student, just click on the course room and just click on join the room. Now the system will take me right away to the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra course room. Now currently I am on the course room. Loading. The browser might ask you to enable or to allow access to the mic or to the camera based on your need. Now here I'm accessing the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra as a student. Let me leave the session. Okay, I'm leaving the session now and going back to my course. Now I will go back to the student, to the instructor, original view, okay? Now for me as an instructor, I can access it from here or even from here. So let me go to the virtual meeting from here. It will be the same. The only difference that you will notice, there is some more icons, like I can create sessions. The student, they cannot create sessions. I have this option menu or session option where I can edit the settings, view reports. The student, they don't have these options. They can just join only. So to create a session, for example, let's say that I'm planning to have this first meeting with my students. So I'll create session for that one. I will call it first meeting. And I want it to be available on this specific date. As we agreed, it will start at 2 p.m. and it will last for 1 hour until 3 p.m. And of course, you can say, allow an early entry for my student 15 minutes before the start time. Why this is important sometimes? Because this will give an opportunity for the student to join early, or the participant to join early, so they can set up their mic. If there is any technical problem, they can fix it before the session started, okay? Now, once I finish, I can just click on create, and now the session has been created. There is other settings I can control, like what is the default attendee role? We said that we have moderator. This is me. This is me, the moderator. I have the full privilege, full access, not only to control the session and also to manage the configuration, the settings of the session. We have the participants. Participants are like the students. They will be able to view, they will be able to share audio, share video, post chat messages, and draw on the whiteboard. Of course, you can take away any privilege from your student, or you can give it to them based on the number of the participant. If I have a very large number of students, of course, I will take share audio and video and draw on whiteboard and just allow them to post their questions on the chat. Now, by the way, you can use the chat now, as I said. So let me just say hi to you. I'm sending a message for you in the chat window. Now you will be able to see it if you need to open. Now, for the time being, let me enable all these features and show you. So there is some settings and configuration. And remember, these settings, you can change it while the session is running, okay? Once you finish, you can click on save and close this window. And now we have our first meeting. Notice that first meeting not yet started, which means if you try, or if the user try to access it, then the system will not allow him. So let me assume that this session will start today, and it will start at 4:30, okay, and it will end at 5:30. And save. Now you will notice that it is active. This is great because it's not active, not started yet. And once you click on the session name, you can just join the session. The same the student. Once you click on the session name, you will see join the session link. And once you click on join the session, Blackboard will take you to the Blackboard Collaborate meeting room. This is the first meeting room, as you can. And because I am a moderator now, the system allows me, for example, to start recording. So let me explore to you these different components of the Blackboard Collaborate. At the left side of the screen, at the top of the left side of the screen, there is this session menu. From here, as a moderator, you can start recording. As a student, if this is recorded session, then they can access the recording link. But again, they don't have the permission to start the recording in the recording. So let me start the recording here. And I can access the different help resources. We can see like the Blackboard, tell me about Blackboard Collaborate. This is like an introduction to the Blackboard Collaborate, shows me how to navigate within the Blackboard, and it takes me to the different components, like a wizard, to show me how things is running within this one. And from here also I can leave the session. In the bottom of the screen, you will see there is the my settings, my settings. From here, I can see my name and also my role, moderator. If I am participant, I will see participants. I have here my experience quality. So as you can see, my experience quality is excellent in terms of download or even upload. This is for the internet speed. I want to go away for a couple of minutes. I just click on away, and this is what my student will see. You are away, or this user is away. You will see beside my name this small icon. See this yellow icon? This means that I am away. Maybe I'm busy with other thing and I will back. Once I'm back, I just click on this one. There is some feedbacks that I can use it, like I can say, okay, I agree with you, or I can say disagree with you. See, so all these feedbacks and settings are visible not only for me, it's also visible for other users. Now, this is important feedback tool that you can use it. I can use this mic to share audio, if you will. I can use the audio or the video to share my video, as you can see. Sorry, I'm sitting in my son bedroom, so it's not organized very well. And I can use the raise hand, of course, to get the attention of my instructor or for the speaker of the session. In the right side corner, we have the Collaborate panel. From here, I can see the chat. So this is where I can start the chat with everyone. I can ask you questions, if you will, and get some feedbacks from other students. In the attendees, this is the participant list. From here, I can see the participant list. I can see the control or the quality of his experience, and also can do some quality if I want, for example, to upgrade one participant to moderator or to presenter. So sometimes the student need to present something. So what I can do, I can come to the student attendee control menu and change his role to presenter. And again, if there is any feedback that has been given, then I can see the feedback that's coming from this user, and it gives me how many users give me an agree or disagree feedback. I can use it to share content, like I can share blank white page where I can draw things, I can write text, I can draw also shapes if I need to explain anything for my student using different colors, and also clear the page if I will. And other users, they can participate on this one. Also share an application. From this page, I can share an application from my computer. And let me just give it the permission. So here I'm sharing my application. As you can see, I'm sharing my whole desktop. I can share camera. If there is secondary camera connected to my computer, I can share the camera for that one. This is really very helpful if there is like you're working on a lab or you want to present something to the student, because by default, the system, once you share your video, the system can share your video. At the same time, if there is other camera that is filming an experiment or other component, you can share it. You just need to connect two cameras to your computer. You can share files, so you can upload any file, any presentation, for example. Of course, if it's a PDF or PowerPoint or image, the best practice says convert it to PDF and then upload it. So you can just upload any file like this file and click on share now, and I can select the slide, as you can see. So this is what really I'm doing with you now. I just uploaded the presentation and I'm moving between the slides. And of course, you can see you can upload multiple files if you need. There is also what we call it polling, where, for example, you need to ask your student any question and get their feedback, like Blackboard for example, and you can click start, then the student will see the polls, and once they select the answer, the system, and you can also say look the poll now, the system will display the results saying that one student has selected yes, 0 student has selected no, out of total number of users, for example. And the most important thing is that we have what we call the breakout group. So sometimes of live sessions, I need my student to work on a separate group, or each group they need, for example, to do a specific activity and then share their findings or the results of that group work. So I can create a breakout groups and I can assign users to the groups. So if I am part of a group 1, for example, and click on start, then the system will take me to group 1 page, okay? And within this group, only myself and other group members will be able to see each other, to talk with each other, to share audio, share video, do all the activities like we are on a different or in a separate room session, okay? This is really a very, very powerful tool and helpful to create breakout groups in the live sessions. And lastly, you can change some settings, like you can set up your camera and you can set up your audio and video settings, if you will, if you face any issues. Usually I would tell my student to go and check their audio and video settings. And for the videos, the same. You can change some notification settings, how to get notification about the user's behavior in the system. And also, as I said, during the session, I can take away some privilege for my student, as I'm doing now. Now, if you finish recording, just click on stop recording, and the system will start processing now the recording that happened within the Blackboard Collaborate. It's really a very powerful tool. I recommend you to go through this tool, experience it with your student. There is more information also that can be found on help.blackboard.com. help.blackboard.com. And let me write it in our chat here. Okay. Once you finish, you just leave the session, give your feedback saying, yeah, it was an excellent, very good experience, submit. This is very important feedback for our technical team to review the session quality and to do any enhancement if needed. Okay. Remember, if you are giving or creating a session for large scale sessions, which allow around 250 users or attendee, make sure to check this box, okay? Check this box. Okay. Now, to view the recording, the student, they can go to this menu item and they can see the recordings. And if there is any recording, they see like this is a previous recording that has been done, and this current recording still processing. Once it's finished processing, it can be available for the students, and they can just click on that session, on that recording link, and click, say, watch now. So they can watch any previous recording from previous sessions. So also, this is a very important feature where you can, as you can see, this is from previous sessions. There is any audio, and the audio will be recorded. Okay. So this is the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. From here, you can manage your sessions, and your students, they can join these sessions, and they can access these sessions or any recording based on the availability or how you can make it available for your students. Like this is our last session, it's available, so the student, he can click on watch now. And here is the recording for our today's session as we presented to you. And it is streaming, so the student does not have to wait until everything is being loaded, it's just a streaming. So the system now is recording all these changes. Okay. Exit preview. So this is all about the Blackboard Collaborate. It's really a very powerful tool, help you to engage and collaborate with your student, have a real-time communication and engagement within the classroom, and also add the human element to your delivery for the course. Okay. Now, I'd like to break for only 5 minutes, if you don't mind, before we jump to our next topic, which is about the assignments, how we can create an assignment to, in our courses. So I will break for 5 minutes, and then I will turn back. An assignment. So adding the content and engaging, collaborating with our student is a very important part, but also we need to be able to verify, be able to, let's say, track the student progress and also measure their understanding for the topic that has been released for. So assignment is another beyond the traditional beyond the traditional objectives of the test. So with assignment, we can create a coursework and manage and grade the feedback for each learner separately. The assignment may include a description, may include point value, number of points that the student will get once they complete the assignment, the file attachment with the assignment, and assignment can be accessible from several course areas based on how you create. So we can use the assignment tool to create, manage, and distribute activities. And the grade area organizes and management capabilities are incorporated into the assignment tool itself. So once the students submit their work from the assignment itself, we can do review for the student submission and provide the grade. Assignment can serve many purposes, such as increased time on task with an efficient way to view and submit an assignment. It's an easier implementation of alternative assessment techniques, such as case studies, problem solving, or problem-based learning exercises, essay, research paper, or even group projects. Also, it's prompting active learning by requiring a learner to analyze, synthesize, and evaluate the course content. Iterative review where the students submit their work, reviewed by the instructor, give them the feedback where the student can go back and update their assignments. Again, really assignment, it can evaluate all of the following types, like the case studies, problem-based learning exercises, essays, research, group project, presentation, field observation also, and lab work. So think of assignment, how you are going to deploy it and assign. Now, learners may face many questions when trying to complete an assignment, like, what do you want me to learn? This is one of the questions that might come to the student mind. Or the student, they might ask themselves, like, why I'm learning this? Or what do I need to know or to do to complete the assignment? How I will be graded? Or even, what does my teacher really want me to do? So there is a lot of questions in the student mind, and that can be confusing if we don't provide the right information for the student. That's why when you create an assignment, it's recommended to include information about how the assignment ties into the goals and objectives of the course. We also need to tell the student the required length or size of the submission. It's recommended also to suggest some resources for the student to help them to do or to complete the assignment successfully. Preference of source citation, like MLA or EPA. This will help us to avoid or reduce the plagiarism on the student works. And also providing a model or example of a successful assignment that also is helpful to remove any confusion for the student. Now, the effective online assignment also provides clear expectation and detailed instructions that include like the submission deadline, the file format, if it should be submitted as a document, PowerPoint, Excel, PDF, how the assignment is completed, if it's individually or in a group work, how to submit the work, how and when feedback is available, and finally, the grading criteria or a rubric is also recommended to provide the clear expectation for the students. So let me go now to the Blackboard lane and show you in action how we can manage and create an assignment for our students within the course. As we said, that assignment can be created or can be accessible from different places based on how you want to create it. Now, the best practices says, or one of the best practices, I wouldn't say the best practices, but you have three different options, let's say, on how to create an assignment. You can come to any content area on, like, for example, chapter 1 or week 1 or the subject that you are used to organize your content. And from the assessment, you can create an assignment. This is one way. The other way is that you can create a new content area. Again, the reason for creating content area because we need to add multiple assignments. And I can say assignments and make it available for my student, and then just add all assignments in the assignments content area. In this way, the student will have like one place to access all the assignments, where if I added the assignment link here, it will go or it will work with the flow of the topics or the items, the learning objects that has been released on specific course areas or course content areas. Or you can do a mix, like create an assignment here and then create a link for it on its respective content area. So let me show you first how to create an assignment on the assignments area. So once you create a content area, from the assessments, you just click on the assignment. Here you just set the title of the assignment. So I would say this is, for example, a chapter 1 assignment. Provide the instructions for the student. Remember, give a clear expectation for your student about this assignment, how they should work, what they will learn, and other related information. Make sure to provide all the information. Think about students that you need to make them successful. Also, you can use this text area here to write the questions of the assignment, if you will, or description about this assignment. But also there is another way where you can, for example, browse your computer and attach a file that contains the assignment file. So let's say that this is the assignment details. It is a text document that is been made available for my students. Then what we need to do is just to specify the due date. Now remember, the due date does not prevent the student from submitting the assignment. So any student who submits his assignment after this due date, the system will mark his submission as a late submission. This is just to tell me that this student has submitted his work after the assignment due date. Now, how that is helpful, this is if you have any late submission policy, grading or, late submission policy. So you might say in the late submission policy, if any student submitted his assignment after the due date, then by default his final grade will be out of 80% original assignment points. He will not get the full points. He will get 80% of the points. So you just define the policy and make sure to set the due date. Then we have the points decimal. So we'll say this assignment worth 100 points. We'll give it 60 points, okay? Now, one of the good practices is to tell the student how they will be graded. So creating or adding a rubric is really very helpful for the student. So they will understand in which criteria they will be evaluated or graded and what kind of achievement level expected from. So you can create a new rubric, or if there is an existing rubric, you can just select one. Let me just create a new rubric very quickly. So this is, for example, coursework rubric. And here, as you can see, you cannot see my screen. Just bear with me a second. Let me change the sharing very quickly. So once you click on create a rubric, the system will open this page up. What you need to do is just to specify the name of the rubric, a description, and here we have the rubric details. So you can define the different criteria. So your student will be graded based on the formatting, organization, and the grammar. And each one of them will work. This one, for example, with is 33% of the total assignment points. This is 34%, and this is 33%. And for each criteria, like for example, formatting, this is the achievement level. So if the student is proficient, he will get the 33%. If he is competent, he will get 50% of the 33% of this criteria, and so on. And of course, here you need to provide the description for each achievement level. This is a guidance not only for the grader who is doing the grading for the student work, but also for the students, because they will know how they will be graded. And to get, for example, 100% of the formatting criteria, this is what they need to include. If they get 0%, this means this is what they have done in their work. I click on submit and go back to my assignment page. So as you can see, the rubric has been created and it is used for grading. Just a second, yeah, okay. And now I can say, show this rubric to the student with the rubric score, or you can select without score, or even after grading, or don't show it to the student. You can select when to show it. but I meant to use it not only for grading and also to help my students to know how they will work on their assignment. In the submission detail, the first one is called the assignment type. Like we have individual submission, which means that each student, they should submit their work individually. The second option is called the group submission. So if you have enabled the groups within your course, the system will display the list of the groups, and in this case, that each group, they need to submit only one submission. So any group member, if he submits his work, then it's like he's submitting his work on behalf of the whole group members. But for this demo purpose, I will show only the individual submission. Then, this is where you identify the number of attempts. Remember that we said that assignment allows you to have an iterative review process between the instructor and the student. So if there is a multiple attempt, like say, you will give your student 2 attempts, like you have 2 chances. Submit your work, our review will give it your feedback, and then you will update it, and this is the final submission, the second one. Or maybe it can be an iterative like 4, like when you need to do your coursework, especially in the specific type of assignments and the projects, when you need to do your coursework, your assignment should contain 4 different components. So the first iteration, for example, is for the coursework proposal. The second one, iteration, I will focus on the, for example, the idea. The third one, I will focus on the, for example, finding the results. And the last one is like for the final project and the final grade. So you can specify the different type of attempts either for iterative review or for partially grading the assignment for specific stages or different stages. If you select multiple attempts, you can select how the scoring will be. It will be on the latest grade or the average of the graded attempts, or the first or the lowest. Now, for this scenario, I will select single attempt. Also, you have what we call it the grading options. In the grading options, Blackboard allows you to have or enable the anonymous grading, which means when you do the grading, the system will hide the student name. This will make sure to have more fair and equity between the students, because you don't know for whom you are submitting or grading the student work, then you will be more fair and reasonable between the student work. And also you can enable what we call delegated grading, which means you can give or delegate the grading responsibilities one or more grader. So for example, for each student submission, you can allow 2 graders. Each one of them will be separately review that student submission work, give him the grade, and also give him the feedback. And finally, for you as instructor of the course, you need to reconcile the final grade and the final feedback based on the other grader feedback and grades. So those are really 2 options, and they are very helpful in specific type of assignments you can think about. Display the grades. How do you want to display the grades? Primarily, the student will be able to see the grade as a score. So we said 60 points, then the student will see his grade out of 60. Of course, you can select different display for the grade, but it's recommended if you are using the score for all the graded activities, it's recommended to keep the score. We have a secondary view. This secondary view is only available for instructor, and it will be available on the grade book. So for me as instructor, sometimes I need to see the percentage of the student, not the score, the percentage of achievement for the student. So you can enable it. You can choose to include it on the grade center calculation or not to include it, because this is like kind of self-assessment or practice assignment. You can also choose to show this grade result, activity result for the student, or you hide it from the student, and you can select to show the average, median, and other statistics. Then you can control the availability if it's available, and you can limit the availability of the assignment and have track the work. So once you've done that and you click on submit, the system will create the assignment. Now remember that we have created the assignment on the assignments menu, but because it's a chapter 1, what I will do, I will go to the chapter 1, And in build content here, I will select what we call it a course link. Why I have selected a course link? Because this allows you to create a link for any predefined item on the course. So assignment 1 already created in the assignments. I just need to create another link for my student, so it will go with the flow of the content for my student. This is the only purpose. So I will create a course link. I would say a course link for which item. I will select the assignment one from the assignment folder. Okay. Then this is the name. This is a description. So I'll say this is a link for chapter 1 assignment, for example. Submit. Now there is a link, so the student they can access it from here, or if they will, they can just access it from here. That's good. We have the assignment. Now let's go and experience it from the student perspective and see how the student will interact with this assignment, then how the instructor will see the student submission and do grading, and then how the student will view the feedback. So I will use the student to review what? And now this is how the student will see it. The student can go to the assignments and he can access it from here, or he can go to chapter 1. While he is reading the content of chapter 1, he will see that, oh, this is the time to do the assignment one. Once the student click on the assignment one, the system will take him to the assignment page. This is the due date. This is the possible points. And since we have released the rubric, the student can click on view the rubric, where he can see the grading details. So let me show you how this looks like once the student click on this one. So as you can see, this is the rubric. So once the student click on view rubric, the system will open this page, and it says that it will be evaluated based on the formatting, based on the organization, and based on the grammar. Now, for the formatting, if you have novice, then you will get 0 points. If you are competent on formatting, you will get 9.9 points. If you are proficient in the formatting, you will get 19.8. 19.8 is the 33% of 60 points. The same. So now the student, he need to know in which areas he need to invest his time to complete this assignment, and he knows exactly what you need to do to get the full grade of the assignment, as you can see. Okay? Once he finished reading this one, there is an instructions, there is an attachments. Of course, you can attach multiple files. You can attach maybe another files or templates that will help the student to solve this assignment. You can attach a model or a sample of a assignment work to guide the student to help them to be more successful. You can, for example, attach a file on how to do a citation for any resources and references that the students use it to do his assignment. Any information will help the student. And once the student click on the link of the file, the system will open it and the student will know that this is the assignment work. How the student will submit his work. The student has two options, or have two options. Either he can write a submission here right away, or based on your instruction, you might say to the student, submit your work as a PowerPoint, or a PDF, or an Excel, or whatever, or a video even. So the student will pause his computer, select the assignment file, click and choose the file. Once he finishes, he can just save as a draft. It means he can retain and edit the assignment or submit. This is like a final submission, and it will be sent to you for grading. Once the student click on submit, the system will give him an ID. This ID, the student is recommended to keep it for technical support. If, for example, his assignment was not submitted correctly or for any reason. And by the way, the system will send a copy from this code to the student's email address, their inbox. And this is the assignment file, this is the student work, and the student sees that this assignment work out of 60 still not graded. This is the rubric that will be used, still also not graded, and he can download it, he can print it. That's good. Now let's see from this instructor perspective, how the instructor will be notified about this assignment and how he will do the grading for this student activity. So I will exit the student review and go back to the instructor. Remember that we said on the activity screen, the system will give us the live update. So like as you can see today now, because there is an activity happening today, there is a new submission ready to be graded. So the system informing me that one of the students has submitted his work for chapter 1 assignment. And I can filter this one like grades and feedbacks to focus on the grades and feedbacks. Okay? That's good. So once you click on this one, the system will take you to the assignment. And for me as an instructor, to be able to do the grading for any student work, I need to go to the control panel. And from the control panel, we have Grade Center. So once you click on the Grade Center, the system will provide a link for a special page called Needs Grading. This is a special page where it lists all the student submission work that has been completed and submitted by the student and need to be graded by you. The system told me there is an assignment. It is chapter 1 assignment submitted by this student, needs to be graded. I can just click on the student attempt and the system will download the student work. Let me hide this menu to just increase the display area for this assignment. Now, what I can do now, I can start reviewing the student work. If I have any comments or any feedback, I can use the annotation tool with the Blackboard Annotate. This is a tool that helps you to do the grading for the student work in line without the need to download and open it on a specific application. So I can, for example, use a brush. Let me change the font or the color of the brush, for example, and I can highlight some points for my student. Then I can use the text, for example, here, and just use this text and use different color to tell my student this need to be reviewed, for example, or visit the resource for more details. So here I can add some inline comments. If I like also, I can, sorry, I did not save it, sorry. Now, I can also add draw a line or arrows to highlight any important part where I need, for example, the student to focus on this area. And I can write a comment, for example, here. So for this specific part, I would say you need to provide proper citation for this. So now the student will be able to see the comments, the feedback, and everything in this one. And as you can see, it's really powerful to help me to do annotation. Even I can add some images or stamp it like, okay, I need to stamp it and say, okay, this is not approved. So I'm just telling my student this is not approved work, so you need to review it before I do the grading for the final one. Now, in terms of grading, I can do the grading in a different way. I can either just write or type the grade right here, or since there is a rubric, what I can do, I can use the rubric for grading. So I will click on this icon. I will click on the coursework rubric and say, for the formatting, the student was competent. For the organization, he's novice. For the grammar, he's proficient. Now, based on my selection, the system will calculate the grade, the percentage of the grade for each criteria. And based on that, it will calculate the final grade. So this student, his total grade is 29.7 out of 60. I can change it, and I can provide a feedback. Also, I can provide a feedback for each criteria for my students. So let me just give some comments I'd like to share it with my students. So in each criteria, I will tell my student where he did not did well. Now the student will have a feedback on each criteria, so he knows where he did wrong and how to fix this one. Once that's completed, I can just save the rubric and give him my final feedback and then click on submit. That's good. We have completed the student submission grading. Now let's go to the student review and see how the student will see the feedback and the grade. So again, I will enter the student review. And luckily, because we have selected the setting keep the review user data, we will be able to see all things. So usually the student, they will go to my grades, and from my grades they will see the different activities. One of them is the chapter 1 assignment, and he can see that his grade is 29.7 out of 60. This is the grade, the feedback for this assignment. Now the student needs to see detailed grade feedback. So once he clicks on the view rubric, the system will open the rubric page, this one, and to tell him exactly that because it opens on a pop-up window. So let me just try it again. Okay, let me change my sharing and show you how the student see the rubric and the feedback for each one. So once the student click on the rubric, you will see in the formatting your score is 9.9, and this is the feedback from the instructor. Organization, you get 0 out of 20.4. This is the feedback. For the grammar, for example, you have done great, you were proficient. This is the feedback. So in this way, the student really understands how he has been graded and in which criteria that he has been graded. Once that's completed, and the student reviews his grade, and this is the full life cycle of the assignment. And for the student to see the annotation and the feedback within the assignment, he can click on the assignment title itself. So what the student can do, once he clicks on the assignment title, the system will download his assignment, and this is the feedback and annotation that has been released by the instructor. Click here, you will see, for example, change the view, just the annotation, the outline. Come on. See that it's not working, but from here I can see the feedback. Come on. Yes. So I can see now the feedback, I can minimize it. You can see the feedback, comments on my instructor in my submission work, and it says that it's not up. Okay, that's good. That's great. So we have learned how to use the assignment and how to do the grading for the student activity. Let's go and move now to the other assessment tool that's available for us, which is the test. So again now, thinking about the test, which is another assessment activity. So traditionally, assessment measures the knowledge at a specific point in time. However, assessments can also be used as a tool to improve subsequent learning. So in online teaching, the role of the instructor is often shift toward guide and mentor the student rather than just teaching. By using an online assessment, you have the opportunity to use a test as a teaching tool rather than purely as an evaluation mechanism for the student focus. So providing a pre-test snapshot that will help the student to understand or to have a snapshot of their current understanding of the topic and prime them for receiving new knowledge. Also, learners can drive personal satisfaction by comparing their pre-test scores with the post-test score. So in this case, for example, in each chapter or each unit, for example, you create a pre-test, and then at the end the student will have a post-test. So the student will have a comparison and to be more satisfied about their progress. This also allows learners more than one attempt to provide opportunities for relearning and assessment. Remember, giving one opportunity, this is what we usually do, but it's recommended to give them more than one attempt. So this will increase the opportunity for the learners to learn or relearn and assess, because we are providing the feedback for our students. And also, the instructors, they can improve the retention and the comprehension by providing the learners with the feedback and assignments between test attempts. Frequent tests not only assess what learners know, but also enhance later retention. So there is a phenomenon known as the testing effect. You just go to the internet and search for this phenomenon, which is called the testing effect. How the students are more satisfied with more testing and frequent of the test, because it gives the learners the motivation to study and regular interval during the semester. So the question that you might ask is that what kind of things that I should consider about the learner assessment? Now, the first one, before you create the assessment, you need to ask yourself, do I need to create a test or a survey for my student? Is there any special instructions needed to be provided for my student on that test, for example? How many questions will my test have? What types of question will be included in my test? For tests, what is the point value associated with each question? Now, will partial credit be acceptable for some or all questions? And also, are some test questions very difficult and appropriate to count as extra credit? And extra credit means that if the student answers it, they will get this extra credit. And if they did not answer it correctly, their grade will not be deducted. The grade of the question will not be deducted from the overall test grade. Okay, enough talking theoretically, and let's go and see what Blackboard can offer for me as an instructor when it comes to the test. Now for the test, you cannot create a content area for the test and create it from there. Test usually is a special kind of tool, because we need to make sure it's only accessible for the users in the right time, and there is no by mistake made available for the student. So to access the test tool within the Blackboard main course, you need to go to the course control panel and then go to course tools. From the list of the course tools, you will see there is a test surveys and tools. From here, we have test surveys tools. Test is a set of questions that are graded to measure student performance, where surveys are not graded set of questions, and the response can be anonymous. Tools, it's like a question bank. So you can create your question bank, and then you can reuse it within the test or the surveys. In this part of this webinar, we will talk about the test, how to create the test. So the first thing to do is either you import the test that has been created in Blackboard previously, or you can build the test from scratch. So I will build the test from scratch. So this one, for example, is called Chapter 2 test. Okay? I'll provide the description for my students, so let me get some information that I already have on a PDF file or Word document file or whatever, and provide an instructions if there is any special instructions I think about to provide it for my student. Now, once you click on submit, the system will ask you to start creating the questions. But before doing that, there is a question setting for this test. It's going to give you what kinds of settings. Like, do you like to provide the feedback for each individual answer if you like? Yeah, usually the feedback is provided at the question level, but there is some cases where you need to provide an individual feedback for each answer. Also, there is an option where you can add or use images, files, and web links in the feedback or even to the answers. Now you have to be careful with these images files. Make sure that these images and files are accessible. And for any reason, if it was not loaded to the student on the test, you need to think about alternative. Okay? Okay, there is other information like question metadata, scoring information, like the default point for each question will be 10 points. You can change it to 5 to 1, but remember that These default values can be changed or maintained for each specific test when you create it. So I will not change anything for this demo, and then I will go and start creating the question. To create the question or add the question for the test, you can create it, you can reuse it if it's already created on specific question pools, or you can upload it from feed file. But remember, to upload the question from feed file, there is some instructions here, more specific about how to upload it. So the feed file should contain, it has some specific instructions about the structure of the file, and each type of question it has a specific, let's say, formatting. Like for example, if you created a true-false question as described here, it says you should write TF in tab, question text, tab, true or false. You specify the type of the question, the question body, and then you provide the correct answer, which is true or false. And for each specific type, there is a specific component or specific format you need to follow. Once you upload it to the text file, you can just create it on the text file. You can just upload it here using the browser, and the system will create the questions for you. But let me go and create a question. In Blackboard, then we have 18 types of question, and most of these questions are auto-graded question, which means that the Blackboard then will be able to set the point for the question once the student submits his answer, because you are providing the question and the correct answer. There is a manually graded question like essay question, short answer, and paragraph question. These type of question requires from you to do a grading manual for the student answer for that specific question. And if there is one manually graded question on the test, the final result for the test will not be presented for the student unless you do the grading manually for that student work. Okay? Now, let me go and create now the question here. So I'll create true, false. So here in the question text, this is mandatory. You just write the question body. So I'll say man is the capital. Now, is this sentence correct or not correct? Now here I will specify the answer. I would say true. So if the student selected true, he will get the point for that question. Now there is some option like how do you want to display the answer orientation, vertical or horizontal. Let me select horizontal. Now here in the feedback, you start to provide the correct response feedback and the incorrect response feedback. And remember, feedback is another way, or it is a very important tool to help you to use assessment as a learning tool, not as a purely assessment tool. And in the feedback, you don't have to tell the student the correct answer. You just need to tell them how to get the correct answer. Okay? Now here you can do categorization and keywording for the test, for the question. So if you need to reuse it, you can use it. You can specify, like for example, the difficulties. So I can say that the difficulties, this is an easy question. And for example, this is for chapter 1, for example. No, this is for example, Jordan. This is for example chapter 1. So you select how you want to utilize these different categories and keywords. Then you click submit, where you can just save the question. And here our first question has been created. You will notice that the default point for this one is 10 points. You can change it. Just click on the number here, write the new points, and then click on submit. The system will change it. Okay? Now I can create another question, and let me create the multiple choice question. In the multiple choice, of course, for any type of question, you will find more help here at the top. This will tell you more information about this question type, how to create it, and it will give you an example how to do that and how to create that question. and explain the options for you. So if you are not familiar or don't really understand what this type of question means, just click on more help and that's it. Now here in the question text, you just write the question. So I would say Cairo University is using, for example, their LMS, okay? Now the possible answers for this one, I would say, for example, we have Moodle, we have Microsoft, for example, we have Blackboard, and we have Office. Now, which one is the correct answer? It's Blackboard. So if this is the correct answer, I will just select it. Now, as you can see, I have provided the question here, and at the same time, I have provided the correct answer with other possible answers, as you can see here. Now, there are some options like do you want to allow numbering like A, Moodle, B, or number 2 is Microsoft, number 3 Blackboard, or you can use the letters. And you can here use what we call allow partial credit. So if the partial credit is there, I would say if the students select, for example, a Microsoft, then I will give them like a 20% of the grade, if you like. So there is the correct and the most correct answer. And you can also, with partial credit, allow it to call it negative the score for incorrect answer. So if the students select this one, I will take like 20%. Sorry. Yeah, minus 20%. Means that it will be deducted from him. And show answers in random order. These are the options that you can select for this question. Again, feedback the same. Categories, we already added these categories, so I can just choose from existing this chapter. On the level of difficulty, I'd say this is easy. Topics, for example, I would say, no, I would create a new one like LMS. Okay. Now you can see anything you added to the list, it will be displayed for you. So you don't have to rewrite everything from scratch. Once you add it, you can just choose from existing and the system will add it in your course. Once you click submit, now we have the questions has been created, so we have 2 questions. Now you can go and continue creating different types of questions. And remember, for each type of questions, if you go to more help here, the system will tell you exactly how to use this question. It will give you even an example question and tells you how to add it and how to enter it. Now, after you add all the questions, now the overall grade of the question will be the total of all points of the questions, which is in this case 15 points. Now I will click OK, and the system has created now the test, and still it is not deployed. Now we need to deploy this test. Deployment means that we need to make this test available for our students. So I can go now to chapter 2, for example. Now in the assessment, I can use the test and create a link for that test. Okay? Or if you will, you can create a new content area and say assessment. Oh, sorry. I think I wrote it wrong. And from the content area, you can just create the link of the test like this. Now, deploying the test is where you specify the options of the test. How the test will be presented to the student. So let us go and through the different options of the test and pay some attention to this one. Once you click on submit, the system will bring the test name, the link description, and it will bring the test description and the instructions. Now you can select, for example, show instructions for the student before the test begins. Open the test in a new window. Now, do you want to make test available for the students? Yes, when the time is come. And the system also can release a new announcement automatically for the student. Now, how many attempts? You want to give them single attempt or multiple attempts? And if it's multiple attempt, then like 2, 3 attempts, whatever you like. One of the best practices for the first time students who are using the test tool, create a dummy test that contains one question and give them unlimited attempt. Allow the students just to practice on the test tool only. Also giving more than attempt to the student. This will help the student to relearn and also to enhance their progress in the course. You can also force completion, which means that once this is started, the user must complete the whole test question or answer all the test question in one sitting. You can specify the timer for the test, like the student have 10 minutes to complete the test. And we have an auto-submit, which means that after 10 minutes completed, the system automatically will submit the student work, if you will. You can control when to display the link also, based if it's available. Remember, since if it's available, you can control when it will be available. If it's not available, then this one is not effective. There is a password that you can add it to the test just for further protection. So once the student accesses the test, they need to enter the password before they access the test. This is another layer of security that you can add to the test. Now, test availability exception. So some cases I have like students with disabilities or some students with some excuse for doing the test on a specific settings. So I can, for example, select any user, like I will select, for example, this user, and I will give him some exception because maybe he has disabilities. I will give him 2 attempts, for example. Or maybe I would extend his time to 20 minutes, not 10 minutes. I will remove auto-submit and I change the availability if you will. So in this case, if there is any students with some exceptions, you can add them and give them other settings or exceptional settings in terms of availability and attendance. Okay. I will remove the student from the due dates again. Now, the due dates optionally, you can set the due date, and again, it will mark it as late. Remember, it will not prevent the student from attempting this test, it will mark it as late. But if you select this option, which is don't allow the student to start the test if the due date has passed, then they will not be able to access it after the due date. So you have the option to make the due date, mark the date, and also you can prevent them from accessing after the due date. Okay. Self-assessment. There are some cases where I just need to give a practice or self-assessment test for my student. In this case, I don't want to include these grades in my grade center calculation. Okay? So like I'm given like a pre-test. The pre-test, for example, for any chapter, just to help the student to measure their knowledge before they started the chapter, and the post-test will give them an opportunity to see how they made the progress or how much progress they made when they compare the 2 grades. So the pre-test, for example, is not included in my grade center calculation. Sometimes there is a need to hide the results of the test completely from the instructor and the grade center. Okay? Because this is like a self-assessment. I'm giving my student the opportunity just to practice before the final test. And really, I don't need to see their results at all or their attempt details. And it's also it can be also used to protect the student privacy. Now remember that if you enable this option, this choice cannot be reversed later without deleting all attempts, which means if you selected this one, okay, and there is one attempt from the student, okay, now by selecting this option, you cannot see the student grades, you cannot see anything about the student that this specific test. So you cannot disable this option and say that now the system should display the grades for me. No, it will not. You need to reset or clear all the user's attempts and then change the setting and give the student another chance to do the test. So you have to be very careful when selecting this one. Now, for the feedback, how the student will see the feedback? You can select when the student will see the feedback, either after submission, or you can say, for example, on a specific date, or after a due date, or after availability, or even after attempts are graded. So you have different options to select when to release this feedback for the students. And also you can select what kind of options or settings that I want to show to the student. Do you want to show them the score per question that they have achieved? Do you want to show them, for example, the correct answers, or their submitted answer, or even all the answers, the correct and this is only the correct answer or the submitted answer, or all the answers of the question that's available. Also, I will select everything. Just you want to select to show the feedback, and even you can select to show incorrect question. So the type of the feedback that you want to show it to your student is really based on the type of the test and how you want to release it to your student. Now lastly is how do you want to present the test for the student, like all at once or a randomized question. If it's all at once, then you can say or one at a time, sorry, all at once or one at a time, which means all the questions on one page or one question per page. Now you have to think carefully about enabling all at once or one at a time, because if you have a large number of students with large number of questions, you might need to think about which option to use. If you selected one at a time, then you have an option to proper backtracking, which means preventing the student from going back to previously answered the questions. Okay? I will select all at once, and then can randomize the question. Once you click submit, now the test has been made available for the student, and the student now can access the test. So let me switch to the student preview and see how the student will see the test and access it. So again, the student will access from assessments, and he will see the chapter 2 test, for example. This is the instructions, the description, the time of the test, the settings, course completion, due date, and other information important. Then once the student click on begin, this is where the system starts displaying now the questions. It says the remaining time is 9 minutes and 52 seconds. These are the questions that has been completion status. You have no question, you did not answer any question. Now if I selected, for example, this one, what will happen, after a while you will notice that the system has automatically saved this question answer. Reason for that, if there is any power shortage or a network issue that disconnected the student, this will give the student, once he rejoins this test, he will be continue, he can continue from where he ends. And this is the status of the question that has been completed. Now let me also select this one. I will select this one as false, just to show you how the system will display. And then I can click save and submit. Or I can click save all answers, which give me the chance to review it before the final submission. So save and submit means that it will be saved and the final submission will go to my instructor or to the course. Now this is the summary now. The student, the user, the course, the test name, when it started, when it was submitted, the due date, the status of the test has been completed or not completed yet. The attempt score, I'm getting 10 out of 15 points the time, and all the information. Here in the feedback, as you can see, the system display the question, display all the answers of the question, as you can see. It shows the correct answer, and it shows my submitted answer. And it shows also my points for that specific question. Here, minus the capital, it says this is my selected answer, and those are all the possible answers, and the true is the correct one. In that way, I can do the grades. Now, if the student tried to re-access the test with a single attempt, the system will not allow either to take him back to the course or review all other attempts. But I can just review it and see the details of this one. How the student will see the grade for this one. If you go to my grades, and we will find on the my grades the chapter 2 test, and this is a grade 10 out of 15, and system will display the grade right away on this item, because all the questions are auto graded question, which means that the system will identify the grade based on the student's answer. If there is a manual graded question, then the system will say needs grading here. It will not show the final grade, it says needs grading because instructor need to do grading for that student's question. Okay. That's good. We have created a test now and we have released it. Now we can go to the assessment again and create more tests, if you will, and using the questions. For me as an instructor, I need to see how the students are performing in my course. So I will go to the grade center. So I will go to the grade center and talk about it. So the grade center. The grade center is a powerhouse within Blackboard that allows the instructors to reduce the amount of time spent on grading the learner performance and also allows the learners to obtain immediate feedback on their work. In addition, think about that grade center is more than a simple grade book. It provides a means to record data, monitor learners, calculate grades, and also identify learners' last access and students. It will provide a feedback for the learner also. So the grade center, this is where all the activities that has been created in the system will be displayed. So remember that we have created an assignment and a test. And for any graded activity that you create in the course, automatically Blackboard then will create a column for that graded activity on the grade center. So each column here represents a graded activity like Chapter 1, Chapter 2 assignment, Chapter 1 assignment, and so on. In the rows, the system will display the list of the students. Currently, I have only one student. If I have more students, I will see the list of those of the students. You will see username, the last access, the availability. And with the grade center, there is two default columns that will be created by the system for the total and the weighted total. Those are two predefined columns created automatically for you in each course that you are teaching. The total represents, this is the sum of the possible points for all the graded activities. So if you just focus here, when I'm pointing on the header of the column, you will see we have the grade information bar. So let me just do it here and show you. If I'm pointing in the total, the system will say, this is the total grade, possible point up to 75. 75, what does that mean? How the system calculates 75? Because Chapter 1 assignment worth 60 points and Chapter 2 test worth 15. So the total of them is 75. This student has achieved 29.7, this student has achieved 10 out of 15. So the total of the points is 39.7. So these are the total points that the student has granted in this course. You will notice that we have what we call the weighted total. Weighted total, this represents the distribution of the grades out of 100 percentage. Okay, for example, maybe the test worth 60% of overall grade and assignment worth 40%. Now by default, the system doesn't do the mapping for this weighted total, doesn't distribute the grades, because we don't know how you as an instructor will do the distribution of the weight. So to update this distribution of the grades, you need to go to the weighted total header, click on the option menu and go to the edit column information. From here, the system will display the column information. One of the information is that the column selection to be included on the weighted grade. Remember that the total weighted grade should be 100%. So if I select, for example, test and say this worth 70% of the 100%, and Chapter 1 assignment, for example, worth 30%. Now see, the weighted total is 100%, and I have decided for the test is presenting 70% of overall weighted total of the course, and assignment is 30. Click on submit. And see now the system has calculated the weighted total, which is 61 percentage out of 100 percentage. Now, if I go back here and do another changes, like I would say for the chapter 2 test, for example, I would give him 40%, and for assignment, I would give him 60%. Find how the final result will look like. So my total weight is 56. So the total weight, the weighted total is how you are going to distribute different activity points on the total weight of out of 100. And the way that I have done it here, I use the column to select, which means for each specific activity, I give it percentage. Like for chapter 2 test, this is 40%. Chapter 1 assignment, this is 60%. There is another way to do it, is that based on the category, which means like, if I added a test, I would say that worth 40%. What does that mean, category test? So if you created one test, or you created 10 tests within this course, okay, then the weight of those 10 tests will be 40%. Okay? Now, I say for the assignment, I will give it 60%. Currently we have one assignment and it worth 60%. But during the course running, if you added another 2 assignments, then the 2 assignments will worth 60%. So this is what you distribute the weight based on the category of the activities. Either you specify the activities itself and give it a weight, or you specify a category. And you can, by the way, do a mix, like, okay, for the assignment, I will give it 60%, but for the test, I will give it 40%. Now currently I have one test, but if in the future I have 2 tests or 3 tests, those 3 tests will worth 40%. So let me now click on submit. As you can see, his weighted total is 56. 56. Okay. The reason for that is that we have one assignment, that's fine, but we have one test. Now, if I go back to the tests again, the assessments here, and create a new test. So I would say another test. Final test. And I will create one question just in this test. And question. False. I will give it a weight here just to play with the numbers here. I will give it like another 90 points. Okay. And let me just deploy this test very quickly. Make it available. Okay. Now you go to the grade center again. So as you can see, because currently I have only one test, which is 10 points, and the grade of the weighted total of the student is 56. Now I have a final test. Let's assume this final test was delivered on paper or whatever, and what I can do just to come here and say, this student gets 70 points for this test. Now note how the weighted total has been changed. It was 56, now it is 58. The reason for that both tests here, regardless of the number of points, are worth 40% based on my distribution. All the tests were 40 points. Now I have said that the weight column is equally, which means that the 40% each test, because I have 2 tests, each one of them will have 20%. I said proportionally that it is based on the number of the points. The first one worth 10 points, the other one worth 90 points. So it's like, this is like around 10% of the 40%, and this is 90% of the 40%. Let's go and see how this setting is changed. Now the weighted total is 60, see, it is changing. So setting the weighted total is very important, and very important for you to understand the different options. Now, there is a question, for example, for the weighted total. Usually, we don't release it for the student now. Usually, we will hide it from the student. So, if you click on the column, title of the column, you just hide it from the student. Now, what that means is the student now accesses the Blackboard Learn course as a student and go to My Grades. Then the student cannot see the weighted total, as you can see. There is nothing called weighted total because we hide it. Usually, the weighted total is released at the end of the term when the student completed all the activities. Remember, its value is changing based on the student activities. And we don't want to confuse the student, like at the middle of the term he will see his grade like 90% out of 100, and then at the end of the term his grade is 60% out of 100. So we need to make sure that we will hide it. And since I hide it, the system had shown this icon. And if you click on the icon legend, the system will tell you what's the meaning of these different icons. And when it's the right time, for example, I can say, okay, hide it from the student, on, off now, make it on, which means make it available for the student. There is another type of situation where, for example, I will do a quiz for my student on a paper-based, and I need really to upload the grades of this activity for my student. So in this case, there is no activity here to be created in the system called the quiz one, but still I need to add their grades. So what I can do, I can use create column. So for this create column, I will specify the name. I will say, for example, this is a quiz. This is a offline assessment that I have done for my student. Now, how do I want to display the grades for my student? Remember, if I'm using this called all activities, it's recommended to have all as a score, unless this is like kind of self-assessment activity or formative assessment where I need to just tell the student about their progress, so you can change another one, select another one. Now the category, you can specify the category. Remember, selecting the category is important. Now, if you select the test, remember, this column will be added to category test, which means now the 40% will be distributed for 3 tests, not 1 test. The possible points, I would say this is for 20 points. And you can set other options like be calculated to be displayed for the student and other settings. Once you're done, the system will add this column, and as you can see, we have the quiz. To enter the grade for this one, just click on the cell and enter the grade. Now this one worth 20. I will give the student 15 out of 20 and click on enter. Now this grade is 15. See how the weighted total has been changed? So you have to be careful again with releasing the weighted total. So you have an option to create columns for offline activities, like, for example, there is like a presentation assessment activity that you need to do for your student, where you need to see them using the Blackboard Collaborate to do a presentation in front of you, and you need to give them a grade on how they're performing on, or what's their grade, or their achievement look like on the presentation skills. So again, this activity doesn't happen within a test within the Blackboard lane. You have used the Blackboard Collaborate to evaluate the student's presentation skill. And then you need just to reflect or create a column, enter those skills here, or the grades here on the grade center for that course. You can also create a calculated columns like average, minimum, column, total, or weighted column. And you can also work offline. Work offline means you can download a version from this gradebook, and it will be downloaded as an Excel file. An Excel file, you can download it, you can add the grades for the student, and once you finish, you just upload it. So this is like a patch update for the student grades. And remember, downloading means that you will download the full grade center, which you need to do open it in Excel and start adding the grades for the student of the different activities. Then once you finish, you can upload it. Also, you can use it as a backup, just to take a backup of the students. Now remember that in the grade center, there is also another option to allow you to manage the grade center. Like you can define grading period, grading schema, define categories, manage column organization, and have other options. What I need to highlight here at the end of our webinar is that for any grade, like for example for this quiz, or for the chapter 1, chapter 2 test, the student attempt was 10%. So for each grade here, you will see this icon, option icon. Once you expand it, the system will give you the attempt date, if there is an attempt, and the grade details. So there is an attempt for the assignment, but not, for example, for the final test, there is no attempt because you have entered the grade manually without getting the attempt for the student. But let's assume that you have open, for example, test attempt and click on the view grade details for this student. So you say that this student has achieved 10 or get 10 out of 15 points. Now this is the attempt. So the student has completed this test on this date time, and this is the grade. You can clear the attempt and you can ignore the attempt. Clear means it will be deleted from the calculation. Ignore, it will be just ignored, like the student did not or attempt this test. And you can use it to give the student another chance, like if you will. Now you can do what we call it a manual override. So the student gets 10, and after reviewing his work, I say now he's deserving like 12. Now it's good to add feedback for the learner, so we know why this change is great. And for the grading notes, this is very important for editing purpose. If you change any student grade from the original grade, write just some comments for auditing. So maybe there is someone will ask saying why the student grade has been changed. There is a complaint from the student. It was 15 and it's reduced to 10. So you just add this comments here, and the system will save it, and you can retrieve it at any time. So I'll click save now. Once I override the grade, the system says that this original grade has been overridden. You can revert, go back to the original one. Now, if I revert back to the original one, then the system will set it to the original one, which is 10 out of 15. Now see all these tracks, all these changes on the student grade, it will be saved in what we call it the grade history. Now let me give you the full grade history. I would say that the student has completed the test, and his grade was 10. Then this instructor has changed the grade and put it to 12. This instructor on this date has cancelled or cleared the override grade, reverting back to the original one. So any change on the student grade, it will be written here. That's why, for example, I change it, adding feedback or comment, why it has been changed. That is very important. Now if you go to the grade history, see, so this is the comment. This is why I changed the student grade from 10 to 8. This is the reason for that one. So I will have the full history why I have done all these changes. If there is any audit, that's it. Now for each student attempt, you will have this option. So you go here, you grade details, and then you have manual override, you have the column details, history, and also you can ignore or clear the attempt that the student has completed. So there is a lot of things to talk about it in Grade Center, but at least this will give you an overview, an initial, let's say, introduction about the Blackboard grade history. I really recommend you to go to help.blackboard.com and more specifically to the instructor or teacher, college or university, and then select Learn. I recommend you to go to this link in the chat now and learn more about the Blackboard lane. There's a lot of information, a lot of features to learn about. Would like to thank you all for joining this webinar, and please excuse me if I did not explain all the features, and maybe I was very quick on other points. Thank you all for your time, and looking forward to have another meetings with you. Let me just review the chat and see if there is some questions. So there is the recording. Basil said that will be sent. That's good.
Is there an option to delay releasing the score? Yes, as we said, we can hide the column from the student. And if there is other questions, thank you all. Yes, thank you. Thank you all for your feedback. That's great. If there is any other questions, please share it with me before we leave the session. Let's stop the recording. Thank you, Farah. Thank you, Dr. Rima. Thank you, Dr. Sameh. Thanks, Omar. Thank you. By the way, I'm not a professor. I'm just a normal person. So my name is Hamdan without a doctor. Thank you all. I'll stop the recording now, and hopefully we will have in the future another training, more detailed training, where we will focus on different areas and different topics, and give you the chance to engage and collaborate. Have a good day, and see you inshallah soon. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.